Okay. So, as you have hopefully seen in the Slack channel, the assignment deadline got some extension. So you have time until Sunday midnight to finish your each of these assignments. But that also means that you will only get your grade next week. And I hope it's okay with you. All right, let's look at a couple of examples in this notebook. I will do some imports. And let's look at these comprehensions. Each of these blocks is, one block is append version, and under it you should define it as a list comprehension. So in this we go in a range, so I will copy this expression and say I minus 2 should be the element of L. Let's call it L2. Oh, and I should also look if the output is the same. It is indeed. The next example contains some filtering, so let's do it with some conditions. L2 should be, and should be I, because we don't do anything with it in this expression. Then we can copy out the for loop here and the condition afterwards. And let's see if the result is correct. It is indeed. Let's look at something a bit more complex, maybe this one. So this contains 2 for loops and additional multiplication. Let's run this and let's define products 2, prod 2. Then the first for loop should be the outer for loop, as in this example. So L1, then we should go over L2 for y in L2. And what do we want? X times y. And then prod 2 should be the same. It's important that you take note of the order of the for loops. The first in this comprehension will be the first one in the longer format. The second is the inner for loop. You can chain it a bunch of times, 4 in 4 in 4. It's readable for like 2 for loops or maybe 3. So be mindful of that. You don't want unreadable code. Yes. And let's see a generator example. So this code should generate bigrams for you. And bigrams are like, if we are talking about words in a sentence, they are 2 words, a word pair that are next to each other in the sentence. In this case, we want character bigrams, so same thing, two characters that are next to each other. You can see it in this example. AB, BC, and CA should be the bigrams. So let's iterate over the characters in the text for C. In text, no. So for until the very last element, I think. Maybe not this way. Let's use enumerate. Right, and then we can yield the text from I to I plus 2. And let's see if it's correct. Maybe print this out as well. So if we would define this get bigrams and store it in gen object and iterate over it for G in gen. G. And you can see each iteration. And we don't actually even need that character there in the function. There is a similar exercise in the graded part, but you will need to define a generator that can generate n-grams. So not just bigrams, but 3 grams or so on. So there should be a different additional parameter that tells the function how many characters do you want. And this is from the lecture. You can copy it from that. And it's only here, so you can look back to it when you are working on the graded part and you want to check something for it. All right, any questions?
Yes, I have questions regarding the last two list comprehension training exercises.
These two? Or the ones that we've seen?
The try except, exactly. How do I do this within a comprehension in this the try except? How do I manage this? I really have no clue how to do this.
That is correct. Let me just read it quickly. So, yeah.
I mean, I understand what it should do. It should
text.
count the occurrence of the different characters in the text. But how do I? Should I just do it somehow with an if else or something, or is there a solution to really put in the try catch try except part? And if how, because I really didn't find any clue on how to do this.
So the try except is there because you, if you try to access something in the dictionary that does not exist, and in the case of this line, you try to access it and increase it by 1, you would get a key error because that key does not exist in your dictionary at the time. So for that, you will have to define that key, give it some value. And that's what this does. You can, I will write a different solution for this particular exercise without the comprehension, and then I will write one with the comprehension. Is that okay?
Okay.
So we could, I will copy some of this. Let's call it a bit different. So we'll iterate over the characters in this text. And if this character is not in character frequencies 2, then we will initialize it. Character frequency C should be 0. And if I do it this way, then I don't need an else block because I just need to rename my function. So what I did here is instead of using a try catch or try except block, I was thinking ahead and examined if a given key is already in the dictionary or if it's not. And if it's not, then we initialize it or put the key in the dictionary with an initial value. And afterwards, we increase it by 1. We could also do that. We initialize it with 1, and then in an else block, we just increase it. It will do the same thing. And you can do something like that in a dict comprehension, where you have C, and this is a bit cheaty, but text that count C for C in text. And there you go. We can take advantage of a built-in method for a string, which already counts the characters or the occurrences of a given character in the text. And that way we can iterate over text and initialize it with the count already.
But in
Okay.
this solution, if there is an A in the text, I would set the A 5 times.
Yes, you would.
So yes, that answers my question, because my problem was I thought the idea is to include the try except system in
sorry.
and as far as I know, this isn't even possible in Python.
No, it isn't.
So it's we just have to find a working system to
you
make
don't need to translate it one-on-one. Just write comprehension that does the same thing.
Okay.
Just as a comprehension.
Thank you.
No problem. All right, I will stop the recording and the sharing, and you can ask questions afterwards as well.